Guys, this is Kimmy Pie 2001 with K Nishay Custom Creations. Today we're going to make a tumbler, so follow along with me. Here I've done some preliminary. I have already sanded the tumbler, and as you can see, I am spray painting with a black base. And next, coming up, I am about to lay some glitter on the tumbler, and the adhesive that I'm using is Mod Podge. And I've mixed it with a little bit of water just to thin it out just a little bit, but to also not make the adhesive so streaky. So yeah, I'm going in and going over it over and over before I actually go in with the glitters. But now I'm going in with the glitters. And I do actually 3 coats of glitter. It's not going to be shown on the video, but I do 3 coats. Next up is the epoxy method. And what I did with the epoxy method was I went in with 3 different cups. The first cup had about, I would say about 15 milliliters of part A and part B mixed together, half and half. And then I did one with just 10 milliliters so that I could lay down some chunky glitter. Then I had another one with a small batch of regular, just plain epoxy resin, just in case. But here I am mixing it up. You know you have to mix the epoxy resin a lot before it turns clear. So yeah, I had to speed it up just a tad. But here I am about to lay down the epoxy on the glitter tumbler. And I kind of like this camera angle because it kind of let me see the parts that I was missing just looking into the camera. So if you see me leaning back, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking to see, okay, what part did I miss? How can I fix it? Or how do I need to fix it? You know. So here we are, putting down the epoxy. I pay close attention to the edges, especially at the bottom. Not so much at the top, but yeah. Looks like I got everything pretty coated. And there I am mixing up the chunky glitter. No, that's just regular epoxy. My bad. To get some spots. To work on some spots. Okay, now I'm laying the chunky glitter epoxy here. And I like to mix the chunky glitter in the epoxy when I do this because it allows me to run my fingers along the tumbler to make sure they are flat. So that's the main reason I did it in mixing the epoxy with the chunkies. After I did an 8-hour curing, here we are. I've did a water sanding of the tumbler here. So after I did the water sanding and cleaned it up with a little bit of alcohol, I put it back on the turner and I took about 15 milliliters of epoxy and coated the tumbler again. As you can see, I also put some decals on it as well. But I will say with the decals, I did do the decals after I did the water sanding on the tumbler. I applied then, yeah. Now this is a whole different new tumbler. I'm gonna tell you, I can be a klutz sometimes, so I had to start over from the beginning. But the same method applies. Only thing I really changed up was the font for saints. But here I am applying rhinestones to the dripping decals. And I use some gold crystal AB stones, SS10s. And then I had a few where I had to fill in the gaps. So I used some smaller stones that got down to like 1 millimeter. And I did that. You can see I also started on the dome top that's going to go on top of the tumbler. So we're just working and working. And I'm filling in filling in the main areas, but I also will go back and complete any of the gaps by putting smaller stones in there. I just wanted to make sure that the main parts were filled first, and then I could go back and put more stones in different places if I needed to. And there she is, all new and finished, getting ready to be shipped to Texas. Thank you so much for watching. Join me again for another creation.